Hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Charter Channel 181, where you can see us 6 days a week. If for some reason you're busy and you didn't catch us on that channel, you can always find us on the internet. We are on YouTube as well as the thirdhandvideo.com. And then the great thing is we're also on Facebook, and Leanne does upload the most recent episodes right to your Facebook feed. So it's a really great way for you to find out what's going on in your community. Like today's show, we're so excited. The Owatonna Music Boosters are going to be here. They're talking about a great event that's coming up. Also, if you ever wondered where Owatonna is headed, well, we're going to be talking about some economic development ideas for you and some opportunities for maybe you to get involved. So please stick with us. We'll be right back. But we do want to make sure you always are aware that you can be a part of the Owatonna Today Show right here in the studio. All you have to do is send us an email at owatonnatoday@charter.net, or you can call Leanne Alt at 390-575-1 and let us know what's going on with you, what kind of event you've got going on, and we'll see what we can do to get you on the air. So stick with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltvet.
And I'm Dr. Nick Vincelli of Horizon Eye Care.
We want you to see what you love and love how you see. We're proud sponsors of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now, I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. In studio, I do have with me Rebecca Rand and Tanya Paley. Ladies, hello.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely winter day. I know it's always exciting in Minnesota. You never know what you're going to get. So that's just, kind of makes things a crapshoot. Which is not always good, but, we can live with it, right?
Sure.
I say it preserves our skin. That's why we look all so young, because of the cold weather's preserving our skin.
Sure.
We're frozen.
Yes, we're frozen.
It's like Botox, only colder. You ladies are with the Music Boosters of Owatonna, but I'd like you to do really quickly, if you don't mind, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourselves. Let's start with
Sure. So my name's Tanya Paley, and I'm the current president of the Music Boosters organization. Music Boosters has been around a long time, and we have kind of a core of board members and then a lot of volunteers. And so that's our board. And
yes, and I'm the secretary. My name is Rebecca Baldwin Rand, and I'm the secretary of the Music Boosters of Owatonna, a volunteer job, and my children have all been involved with music in the Owatonna schools, and it's been a great part of our family, and we thought it would be a way to give back to volunteer for the board.
Do you still have kids involved in music?
Yes, I do. I have two older children who had a very successful run with Owatonna and went on in college to be involved in music, and still are in community orchestras in Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles. But I have twins that are sophomores involved in the orchestra program as well.
Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting concept. They talk about how music really does kind of form your children and kind of affect every area of your life, and you can kind of attest to that.
Yes, it's been a good way for them to express their creative side as well as discipline, learning to practice and have something regular in their life, despite other activities they try and decide if they like or not. Music is kind of the baseline foundation that they've kept, and I feel like it's a wonderful community, being that it's a small community and yet has such a nice music program, a wonderful program, that I'm very pleased with the program.
Let's talk about that, Tanya. Tell us a little bit about the Music Boosters.
Sure. So I agree with Rebecca. I think that we need to celebrate in Owatonna what we have that's special, and our music program is special. And it is also, the research does show that this can really enhance students' academic performance. It's a way for them to connect maybe in a different way, to focus in, to feel a part of something, and all of those good things. Plus, just learning that those skills of translating those little notes into a language of its own. And so Music Boosters exists in order to support that, to continue the tradition of excellence we have in music in Owatonna, to make sure that we have the resources available to help, say, repair an instrument if it gets broken, provide scholarships to students who go to special opportunities. I know we just recently approved some scholarships for students to go to a conference and be in a national honors choir there. So we have a number of students here in Owatonna that are participating in that. Quite a few, I think, more than normal because it's in Minneapolis this year.
Okay.
We also bring in some special opportunities for the students that the band and orchestra and choir teachers, request. So they can request funds from us for special opportunities. And then we also provide some scholarships for students like Rebecca's children who are going on to, I don't know if they got scholarships, but students who are going on to music in college and helping them kind of make that transition and continue to have that be part of their life. And so I think the organization started really at a low point where there were not many resources for music and people were really concerned about what was happening in the district, and it's been going now for over 20 years.
Well, that's what I was thinking, was that there's been a lot of as priorities have shifted over the years in the school district. Sometimes the music program isn't as fully developed as we would have liked it, or it has been in the past. And so that's when the Music Booster steps in and kind of helps with those. Also, just having different economic people in our community. There's some people who maybe can't afford it, and to be able to give them, who still have the desire and the skill, to be able to afford those same things that some of the other kids can.
Absolutely, and music is something that's not an extracurricular. It's actually offered during the day, and I think that's a special opportunity for our children, for our kids. Yeah.
So as you look forward, what are some of the things you mentioned kind of overhead? Do you have any idea about how much the Music Booster gives per year to students?
Every year we give $8,000 to the district, just that's divided up in different ways, and that's historically what we've done, and then on top of that we have given money for I'd say probably, and it varies every year, but several thousand up to $10,000 in additional funds. And so part of it depends on how much we're able to raise.
At our fundraiser.
And so, all of the money that we're giving back comes through membership dues. We collect, we always have a little fishbowl out on the table at concerts. And then this event that we're coming to talk about that's happening this weekend.
Well, I would love for you to tell me more about this event, Rebecca. How many events have you been involved with?
I've been involved in, this will be my third year of the fundraising, although like I said, music has been a big part. And I wanted to add to what Tanya had said about when children are involved in music, as they are in Owatonna, and then they are awarded, say, a place in an all-state band or orchestra or choir, which many of Owatonna students are able to make the all-states, then the Music Boosters provides additional funds for those families as well. It's kind of last-minute things that you may not have budgeted for, and your child was able to get into, and it's exciting, and it's really helpful. So Music Boosters this year, again, is raising money for those extra things that the school district, and special needs that the school district comes up with. But the benefit concert this Saturday will be exciting because it's always a mix of students that perform, teachers, faculty, we have band, choir, orchestra, vocal solos, duets, many, many different
That's kind of like an
activities.
Extravaganza.
Yes, but there's a silent auction too, so there's really lots of, so if someone couldn't stay to the whole concert, they could come to the silent auction at 6 o'clock and look around and donate and make a bid, and we have yummy chocolates and Starbucks coffee.
So the auction starts at 6. What time does the concert start?
Concert starts at 7. There is dinner ensemble will be playing for a little bit of time before the concert. So we're really encouraging people to come, make it an evening. Come to the silent auction, look at the items, get some coffee, listen to the dinner ensemble, and then find your seat in the auditorium. And I have been to these since they started, and it really is different than going to your regular concert that, say the winter concerts we just had. because the students are in smaller groups, we get to really see the talent that our students have, as well as our faculty who perform, and they do some fun and funny things. So it's, and community members, and then we have the Bad Tangerines that started this whole thing for us. We'll be performing. It's really different than any other concert that we offer at the high school, and it's really a fun time. Rebecca mentioned the silent auction, and we're pulling all of those items together. In the past, we have had some things that you wouldn't normally get at a silent auction, like Wenger music stands and chairs, and we've had some Meisel violin bows and cases and things.
And some quite some sporting event tickets that have been really hard to come by as well, you know, from different organizations.
So it's not just your typical, you know, baskets kind of thing. We try to make it a little bit different and really focusing in on the fact that we're supporting music. Not everything is going to be music related. Another item that I'm thinking about bidding on you know, the Pops concert, if you've ever been to the Pops concert at the high school in the spring, it is packed, and you have to get there very early to get your seats. Well, we have 4 reserved seats up front
that you could purchase.
That you can
That's right.
And that's always a hot item for families. You know, maybe grandma and grandpa want to come, and you'd like to give them a real good chance to see one of your kids performing, or maybe grandma and grandpa are listening and would like to.
Exactly. Get one of those. Nicely.
So it's really. It's a great event. It supports a really important aspect in our community. I also have children in the schools, and we just think that anything we can do to support something special like our music program, you know, I think people, when they leave our community or go and see other schools and how they do it and start figuring out how different and how special our program is, we just want to make sure we can keep it strong and really continue to provide, as you said, for anyone, any child that wants to participate.
Well, and I think as people are listening, your passion is very palpable, and people are probably really excited to come. But of course, you know, schedules conflict, and there's they may not be able to come. If they would still like to give because they love the music or they love what Owatonna is doing, how can they do that even if they can't come to the event?
Well, I believe our website will be coming up. There's a link there that shows you, there's a P.O. box that you can send contributions to.
And we have inserts in, if you go to any concert in Owatonna, there's always a Music Booster pamphlet insert that would give you a little envelope to put your money in and send in. And we would be very appreciative.
How much are tickets for the concert?
Well, we got our poster
yes,
here.
It's right
Tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for students. And you can get those at Tone Music here in town if you'd like to get those in advance, as well as Kotke's.
Or at the door if you
Good. Ladies, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Don't let the cold winter weather stop you from exercising. Keep up your fitness program at the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center. We offer a variety of different membership packages available on daily, monthly, and yearly basis. We also have a variety of programs and services to help the newest of members get started and to help those who have been around for a while improve on what they are doing. The Tennis and Fitness Center participates in insurance reimbursement programs with a variety of different insurance providers that could make you eligible for up to $20 credit each month. For more information about the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center, call us at 444-4290.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty. And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna. And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. In studio, I do have with me Troy Klecker and Jennifer Libby. Hey,
hi,
how are you?
Very good.
Wonderful, how are you?
I am well. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I would love for you to do a quick introduction, and then we'll get into the meat of this. We'll start with you.
My name's Troy Klecker. I'm the Community Development Director for the City of Owatonna. I've been with the city for 20 years now, so went through planning, and now one of my duties is economic development.
Good.
So that's the focus that we're talking about today.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Libby, President of the Owatonna Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism, and one of the things that I get to spend a bulk of my time on is economic development, so recruiting new businesses but also retaining and supporting our existing strong base.
Why is it so important to think about economic development? Why can't we just, I mean, Owatonna is awesome. Everybody says that walks in here. Why can't we just be happy with where we are and just stay there?
Well, I think one of the things that appeals to us, and as Troy said, he's been with the city for 20 years. I've been in my role for about 1.5 years now, but prior to that I was on the board for 4 years, and I've been in the community for 16. And so every time we look around, it strikes us that it wasn't an accident. There have been a lot of very philanthropic businesses, individuals, and committed citizens, and our businesses have been fabulous. So we don't want to wake up in 10 years and say what happened. So it's important for us not only to bring in new businesses, but also support those existing businesses, and also be strategic in terms of how we look to build and grow and sustain.
Troy, you were mentioning to me a little bit earlier that you have a unique perspective on economic development in Owatonna. I'd love you to describe that for me.
Yeah, so we have what's called Owatonna Partners for Economic Development. It's a group of 5 different entities, the Chamber, the City, the County, the Incubator, and Owatonna Public Utilities. And so all 5 of those entities are represented on what we call our OPED group. It's a group that addresses economic development in the community. We meet weekly every Wednesday morning, and we talk about different economic development opportunities that are out there. Many cities have one economic development director, and they're sort of in charge, kind of the one-stop shop, and everything kind of funnels through that. We've taken that different approach, and it's probably been about 15 years since we've had a true economic development director. It started with 3 different entities, and now we've expanded because we knew the more entities we had involved in economic development, the more we could actually take advantage of opportunities and more resources we'd have available to us for economic development.
Break that down for me, though. Explain to me how these different entities come together to create a more healthy economic development plan.
So, rather than having the one-stop shop, is we have a group of 10 people around the table representing those 5 entities. And so there's 10 different tentacles that are out in the community looking for and addressing economic development. And so anybody that has an idea out there for a new business or an existing business that might have some possibilities for expansion, they just have to make contact with one of the 10. And we'll bring it back into the group, and we'll figure out a way of how we can help this particular business or individual of getting their objective accomplished. And so, it's not all run through one-stop shop. We have more resources available to us, more levels of expertise, and the different entities can all provide something different to every different business.
Because each business has more than one need. So I was just thinking about OPU being a part of that. They can help with that kind of where should I put my business? Where can it be the most supported through the utilities?
Yep,
that kind of
and
thing.
public utilities, you might have a business that might have want to reduce their electric bills in order to address an expansion project. In fact, we had that happen, and so that was a particular item that Owatonna Public Utilities could address to help a business expand.
And while that person could have gone to the utilities if it was a one-stop shop, you've already created that relationship, and they're already
Correct.
there. It just streamlines that. So
Right.
much
Rather
more
than
quickly.
make the business try to figure out each stop that they have to make
Yeah.
to address their concerns, they can bring it into any one of the partners, and we'll bring it together and we'll address their concerns.
Do you feel that kind of makes the process a little bit user-friendly as well as possibly quicker as people decide to develop their either current business or a new one?
I agree, yes, very much so. Businesses, they want decisions made quickly, they want to act on it quickly, so the more streamlined we can make the process for them, the more likely it is they're going to expand here in Owatonna.
Well, Jennifer, I want to talk about, because as this group, you've worked for how many years has OPED been around?
OPED about 9 or 10, but we had something called the three-legged stool before that.
Right.
Partners for Progress.
Okay, so what do we have this past year? What has OPED been doing to help progress, make Owatonna a little bit more progressive?
Sure, great question. And to answer also if your question earlier in terms of what makes it more effective, I think that responsiveness, it's surprising to me, almost shocking really, how many times we'll be sitting around that table and some person will have a little bit here and some person will have a little bit here. And having been at a formerly I've been at a business in town, and when we were looking at a new building, one of the reasons we decided to stay was the sense of response we got from that group. So the next day they were out there, and speaking with a member just last week, he said that was one of the things that really impressed him, is that other communities can be more challenging to work with. But we don't want to fall in love with ourselves too much, so we're always looking at what we can do differently. And what happened last year was, I think, a way for us to look at that and do things a little differently. So we were extremely excited to see some really big projects. Every project matters, and we're excited about every one. But we saw some pretty significant projects in terms of vision processing, adding 120,000 square feet, so we're really excited about that. In addition, Daikin had a very visible expansion, and so extremely excited to see that coming together. Also, Joston spent a significant amount of energy downtown, and you probably saw the paper, over 100 jobs related to that, so very exciting. And then we also had Envirocon finish a very visible project, so that addition was well over how many square feet, Troy? I'm forgetting. 100,000. So we're seeing a lot of jobs, we're seeing a lot of volume, we're seeing a lot of things added to our community, and so really spreading that out. So particularly exciting. Another thing that was wonderful is to see some activity in our downtown in terms of a designation achieved, and we are one stop away from being designated as a National Registered Historic District.
Oh, nice.
So what that means is more funding coming into the community to help us shore up a wonderful resource that we have.
I think we are fortunate. Our downtown is viable. I think there's so many other still in our in our area downtowns that aren't. There's a lot of closed shops, and Owatonna has kind of said no. Yes. We're going to fill those, and that's really exciting to watch.
Exactly, and so we've seen a lot of very exciting work. I know one thing we'll talk about, Troy will talk a little bit about what's happening in 2015. Workforce. You know, we've done a lot of work around that this year, and a couple other things that we've done more proactively than reactively is we hosted a familiarization tour. So we invited in developers that we've worked with and those whom we haven't, and said, come and look at Owatonna, this is what we can offer. We like to think we're very responsive when we get requests, but we also want to throw it out there and let people know what we have available. So as projects come up, we come to mind. We also held a lending meeting where our local lending institutions, to find out their process and to find out how we can work with businesses to be maybe in some cases better prepared with those smaller projects.
And that changes all the time with the way their finances. So what does the future look like for the OPED?
Well, OPED, we do have a strategic plan, and so there are a number of things that we're constantly working on. But 3 areas that we really want to focus on 2015 was workforce. Prior to that, it was always job creation, creating more jobs. Well, our unemployment rate at 2.7%. Now our focus is more of getting workers for those jobs. So workforce is going to be a big issue we're going to look at. Our website and marketing is going to be another piece we're going to focus a little bit more on. We want to have a very good and up-to-date website so that different businesses and people can find what they're looking for economic development in Owatonna, as well as corridor beautification. So Hoffman Drive is going to see some improvements done this year, as well as some redevelopment projects, and so we're really focused on trying to beautify the corridors into
What
town.
does that bring to the development of Owatonna, other than we get to enjoy it? It's pretty. How does that actually benefit the city?
Well, we want everyone to have a very good opinion of Owatonna, and a lot. If you're unfamiliar with Owatonna and you drive into Owatonna, your first perception is going to be what you see, and so we're making it a big focus to beautify our corridor so that their first impression is very positive when they come into Owatonna.
Good. If people have questions, if they'd like to maybe be a part of the conversation or find out more, how can they do that?
Well, we do have our website, owattonnadevelopment.com, and on there is all our contact information. We have properties and buildings that are for sale. That's mainly what a lot of people get on our website to see what's available when they have business ideas. Or you can call Jennifer at the Chamber or myself at the city.
What's one big project that you are hoping to see go through this next year?
Well, we are still working on Grand Stay Hotel on the south end. It's a redevelopment project, about 72 hotel rooms. It would demolish a couple buildings and really beautify that south entrance into town. So we are working on that. Things are looking very positive. Redevelopment projects is very difficult.
Yeah.
So we're working out kind of all the nuances of the project and hopefully have that underway in 2015.
Well, I do really appreciate your time today, and I know that we are fortunate in Owatonna to have such a unique group here, and you're telling me that some actually other towns come and watch you guys work together. So
other communities
Yeah.
have asked if they can see what we're doing, and again, we're very open to what we can do better. We want to make sure we always keep that continuous improvement approach, but we're really excited about the collaboration because our goal is to meet the needs of our community and our members and our businesses, because 80% of growth comes from existing businesses. So we're pretty fortunate in Owatonna, and we want to see that continue.
thank you again so much for your time. We do appreciate it, especially on a lovely day like today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
My name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to transitional housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Every child needs a mentor, a positive role model. For me, that was my grandmother. For more than 110 years, Big Brothers Big Sisters has been making meaningful monitored matches between adult volunteers and children. And these positive relationships have direct and measurable impacts. Help a child realize his or her potential. Visit bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
And it's time for a look at some of your community service announcements. The Steele County Historical Society is pleased to announce children's programming for Thursday, January 8th at 9 a.m. and 6:30 at the History Center. The preschool age children will meet at 9, and they will be experiencing what winter was like on the Minnesota prairie. Poor kids. And then the time travelers, it's so cold. The time travelers are grades K through 6. They're meeting at 6:30, and they will experience the 1960s through music, games, and much more. It's a great opportunity for kids to kind of get in touch with history. That's through the Steele County Historical Society. If you want more information, please call them at 451-1420. And selections from the Owatonna Art Center Marianne Young Costume Collection will be featured in the Owatonna Art Center Gallery January 4th through the 18th. She was one of the founding members of the Art Center and one on the first board of directors, and many of her garments that she wore around the world will be on display. Gallery hours are 1 to 5 Tuesday through Sunday, and they're closed on Mondays. And the Morehouse Chalet is open open this last Friday. The hours are Monday through Friday from 3 to 9, Sunday 12 to 9:30, and on Saturday, holidays and school vacation days 11 to 9:30. So get out there, get your skates on, and enjoy. Thanks so much for joining us right here on the Owatonna Today Show. We'll be back on Friday when we're going to be talking about the Technical Academies of Minnesota as well as Project Community Connect. We'll see you then.